Okay, here's the best reason for why Jesus was an actual historical person, divine whatever aside. And this is beyond dozens of independent gospels of his life, along with non-Christian sources like Josephus and Tacitus. This is from Professor Barterman, an agnostic New Testament scholar. He really knows his stuff, and he spent most of his career disproving Jesus' divinity, but he wrote a book to prove that he was very likely a real person. It's called Does Jesus Exist? So the concept is the Messiah as a crucified man. The ancient Jewish people had been exiled by the Babylonians. They were a minority group in the Roman Empire. Their holy books chronicle these great warrior kings, most famously King David, who was the little David and Goliath story. Anyway, the Jewish people wanted another warrior king to restore the Jewish people to a higher status in the world, to be protected, etc. So this guy, Jesus, the Jewish teacher, has these beautiful teachings about love and unity, pacifism, turn the other cheek, and he's killed by the state. He's crucified. And then decades later, he still has these followers. They were really into what he was saying. They called him the Messiah. When other Jews heard this, they must have been confused. The Messiah? What do you mean? That guy who was killed? That doesn't make any sense. And so the early Christian movement was essentially changing the definition of that term because of what happened to their teacher. It wouldn't make any sense to have made up a character to be the Messiah and say he was crucified. If you made up a Messiah character, you would say he was a badass. The early Christians couldn't change what happened to him historically, but they could reinterpret the meaning of that word, the Messiah, in a way that fits his story more cleanly.